Okay, so what I'm going to be talking through now is how to adjust the draw weight and the draw length on the Atunga Extreme compound bow. Now please note that adjusting the draw weight is the same on the Commando and the Elite as what I'm going to do here. Now the first thing you need to do is confirm with your Allen key that it's on the tightest setting. It must be on the tightest setting before you do anything. So left is loose and right is tight. And we're just checking it's on the tightest setting, which it is. If you've just got your compound bow out of the box, there's a little bit of Loctite, just a tiny bit of Loctite on the bolts on the front, on these bolts here. So it'll feel like it's going to break, or at least feel like you're not going to get anywhere by loosening it up. But you will. Once you loosen this up a few millimetres, the Loctite will disengage and it'll be much easier to loosen up further. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually adjust the draw weight, and we need to actually adjust the draw weight if we're adjusting the draw length. We need to loosen off the bow to its minimum setting if we're adjusting the draw length. So what I'm going to do now is start unwinding that, and I'm going to take note that I'm going to do 5 full rotations. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to do this 5 rotations as well. Noting that 5 rotations is the absolute maximum from its tightest setting that you can loosen these bows up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And also note that when you loosen up these bolts, if you do a full rotation loose on both bolts, that's around about 3 pounds of pressure. So we've taken this down a full 5 rotations, so we've taken it down about 15 pounds of pressure. We need to do that when we are doing anything with this string, which we are now changing the string or draw length. So that's how we adjust the draw weight. Now I'm going to move on to adjusting the draw length. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up my Atunga de-stringing tool. It's almost impossible to do without a de-stringing tool. I've heard people say they have done it. So it's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult and probably almost impossible. Before I've started to work with my de-stringing tool, I've wound it all the way so that all the thread is on this side of the tool. And now what I'm going to do is lock these pieces in here. Okay, so that's one side. And with the other side, I want to actually, you'll see here that there is a hole on one side where you can slide the cable, because you want to have it on the tightest setting that you can to actually work the tool. And that looks like it's going to work about there. When we install this, we want to make sure the hole, as seen there, faces up, because we don't want gravity to actually make this all come apart when we've got a lot of pressure on it. So now I've got the hole facing up. I'm just going to tighten that on its tightest setting. There we go. And now I've sort of got to hold that while I wind this, so I've got enough pressure to hold that in place. So now I'm winding. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking the pressure off the strings and off the cable so that I can adjust the draw length. I would also do this process if I was replacing the string, or if I was installing something like a peep sight onto the string where I needed the pressure taken off the string. So I'd tighten that up. As you can see, I've taken the pressure off the string because I can now easily disengage the string. If I was replacing the string, that's all I would do. I'd undo both sides, put the new string on, and I'd put it back on again. If I was installing a peep sight, I would get something that's not sharp, like maybe a credit card, and find my way through these strands in the string to install my peep sight. I would then tie it up with serving. For serving, I could use something like dental floss, and I could install the peep sight inside that string. What I'm showing you how to do now is how to adjust the draw length. So on the bow, you have 3 grooves on the cam. There's 3 grooves just there on each cam. Here I've got it on the middle setting. When you get it out of the box, it's on the longest setting, which is 29 inch. For each one of these grooves, that's half an inch. So if you moved it one position on this cam and one position on the other cam, that's a full inch. If you moved it 2 positions on both cams, you're taking it down to its minimum setting, which is about 27 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is show you how all I do to change the position is take that up, put it on its new position, and click the string back in again. Quite difficult to show you on the... So there, I've just pulled that up and clicked it down another position. That is how we change the draw length. So now I need to do that on both sides. I can't ever just do it on one side. So again on the other side, I'm lifting up this, taking it to the other position and clicking it down again. Now depending on which position you're changing it to, if you're changing it to the shorter or longer position, you may need to re-tension up your de-stringing tool to get more pressure. In this case, and that's got to obviously go over the string as well. Sorry, over into the rails, and make sure it's back onto the rails again. Now I'm going to see if I've got enough. No, I'm going to struggle there, so what I'm going to do now is get more pressure. Bring these in closer. See if that works. Yes, that works, but more importantly, am I on all the wheels? In this case, I am. So all my strings are all in their right positions. It all looks good. I'm going to slowly loosen this off. While I'm doing that, I'm making sure that all my cables and all my strings are still on the rails of the cams. And they look good. And I can feel I've got no pressure left on my de-stringing tool. And we're done. Thank you.
Like 7.